Anyhow, in out of the news, we had a massive situation where, well, a family member called me. Called me and said, TMI, you hear what's going on with the Defense Force and the Rangers in Eleuthera? I say, what do you mean, the Defense Force and the Rangers in Eleuthera? They say, TMI, you ain't know when the Defense Force officer was fooling with the children and doing all kind of things to them. I say, what? They say, yeah. They said, CDU is in Eleuthera right now conducting their investigations. I say, what? They say, yeah. I say, what happened? They say, my relative, whose child was in the Defense Force Rangers, tell me how bad the man was doing them. But they didn't go into details telling me. They just gave me a little bit of stuff. They didn't give me all the details. They tell me that they was waking them up in the night and said they was hazing them. That's what they said. They said, I say, hazing them? They say, yeah, hazing them. They say, TMI, how you ain't know what's happening? I say, oh, I didn't know. Ain't nobody tell me nothing. They say, yeah. They say the children them is getting taken advantage of by the Defense Force people, them who was there in the Rangers. So I made some calls, and I listened to the news, and I checked, and I found out that the Royal Bahamas Defense Force had launched an investigation into misconduct by a Marine in the Rangers program. I understand that the police was doing their own separate inquiry. And so the Defense Force is doing their work, but they're working hand in hand with the police to address this matter. And the Defense Force officer was taken into custody. Now, I don't know if it's the same Cox person, because they were saying it was somebody named Cox. I don't know. That's alleged. But they said this Marine had these Rangers doing all kind of things out of the summer camp in Eleuthera. So they was waking the children up in the night and beating them. So they was forcing the children to drink toilet water. And they said one young boy was forced to masturbate in front of the other children. This is the foolishness that this officer was doing with these children. This is the foolishness. Had the children them doing all kind of things. Huh? Say they was forcing the children to drink toilet water. Jesus Christ, my God. I listened to the voice note of the mother. The mother said, child, she said, listen to me. And this is the mother of one of the children. She said, I sent my son. She said, and I'm broken. This mother said, I'm broken because my son, I felt my son was safe. I'm broken because I was not able to be there to protect him. I'm broken because I could not do for him what needed to be done. She said, I'm also broken because I know that if I had been there, this is not the conversation we would have been having. I was going to do something to that officer for doing what he did to my child. This is what the Defense Force people doing with the Rangers in Eleuthera. And they come to Eleuthera to do it. Lord have mercy.